Welcome to FullBibleTimeline.com. We're going to begin the teaching series on the Bible timeline. To do that, I'm utilizing the digital version of the timeline. This is called a zooming presentation, or a Prezi, and that's available for sale, as well as the printed full-color vinyl 9-foot long chart and a high-res PDF for those who want to print at your in your location. So today we're going to begin with the timeline. We're going to walk through the timeline today. First you're going to see some instructions on how you can use the Prezi. It's really simple. All you need is a mouse and those 4 keys. So here's the timeline. Now the timeline, I'm just going to zoom out so you can get an idea of the whole thing, is the full 9 feet, and this zooming presentation allows you to take that chart and zoom right into the details that you can see there. So it's high res and you can really get a close-up view of all the details. We're going to start on the chart, and we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to take a look at the fall of man. And before we go into that, I want to explain how the chart works. I want to show you the numbers here and how the counting system works. So the yellow numbering system starts at 0 and goes all the way through to present day, right to when you are right now watching this video. It's an unbroken chain of time. And below those yellow numbers, we have the BC dates. Those are the dates a lot of historians, and if you're looking into history, you're most common with those dates. The white numbering system, this number is a representation of the amount of time between father and son. The Bible says in Genesis 5:3, Adam was 130 years old when he had Seth. So this white number here represents the age difference between the two. Seth was 105 years old when he had Enosh. Enosh was 90 years old when he had his son. And the little blue number underneath each name represents the actual year this individual was born. Seth was born in the year 130, Enosh in the year 235. And the scripture verse where this is taken from in the Bible. This is all just math taken from the genealogies in the Bible, and it does reveal an unbroken chain of time from the fall of man, not the creation of man, the fall of man. Because when Adam was created, he was created in timelessness. He was created without death. There was no death cycle in the Garden of Eden. God is not the author of death. So Adam was an eternal being. It wasn't until the fall, and we're not sure how much time was between the creation of Adam and his decision to partake of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And I'm fully convinced Adam didn't make a beeline for that tree the day after God created him. So there was a period of time that we cannot put on a chart because we just don't know how long that was. But what we do know for certain is that 130 years before Seth was born, the transgression took place. For we know Adam started keeping track of birthdays. And you're not going to keep track of birthdays unless you realize that there's a significance to keeping track of the number of years you are alive. From Adam's point of view, the number of years he has left. He came from eternity into a death cycle. In the Hebrew, when God said, "You shall not partake of this tree, or you shall surely die," in the Hebrew, it actually says, "You shall die the deaths." That's the literal interpretation. Both spiritually and physically, they would die if they partook. Spiritually, we understand that they died right away. Physically, it took 930 years for Adam to die. Now, Adam is represented by this black line, this thick black line that you see. His son Seth is represented by this red line, hence his name is actually red. And Enosh in this burgundy. And if you follow this timeline all the way up to the top, 600 years, 800 years. We can see that at the top of the lines, there's a number, 912. Seth lived 912 years. Adam lived 930 years. So it took 930 years for Adam to physically deteriorate and die. But the spiritual death took place right away. And because Adam began dying, Adam began keeping track of his birthdays. And hence, in the scripture, in Genesis 5:3, we know that Adam was 130 years old when Seth was born. Therefore, 130 years before the birth of Seth, Adam celebrated his first birthday, and that was certainly not at his creation. There's going to be more teaching in subsequent videos. So if you like what you hear so far, stay tuned. And we're going to move all the way through this chart. I'm just going to give it to you in little bite-sized pieces. And we'll go through every aspect of the Bible timeline. So thank you very much for joining us.